Well, 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 welcome to the Architects of Fate streaming extravaganza. That's right, you've found the self-proclaimed original Twitch TTRPG stream that lets you shake up our world. Now pay attention because this is how it works. If you'd like to add some loops to this roller coaster ride of a show, you're gonna need fate chips. Now these magical loyalty points can be earned just by watching, following, hosting, subscribing, or just engaging with us in the chat. It's like free money, Pete. With your fate chips, you can use your powers as an architect to heal your favorite players, summon items that will make their adventure a lot easier, or a lot harder. You can even make players say or sing outrageously silly things. Think of those possibilities. But wait. There is more. You can also toss our unsuspecting heroes into random encounters that will leave them sweating, strategizing, and questioning their life choices. All it takes is a quick redeem command in the chat. You choose the item or action and the player you want to mess with, and we'll take it from there. So sit back, relax, and prepare yourselves for a mind-blowing spectacle of storytelling and mayhem. We've got adventure, we've got drama, and more surprises than a clown car at a kid's birthday party. So let's go!
And welcome all you Architects of Fate. Good to have you back on the channel with us and, pulling yourselves away from Baldur's Gate 3 and the new Cyberpunk expansions and Starfield and everything else that's going on in a very good month for games. We find ourselves today together in joyous excitement as we return to the world of Conan, Adventures in an Age Undreamed of by Modifius Entertainment. We've got a great cast again here with us tonight, missing one person, but our cast tonight has our moderator, the man behind the scenes, and the one that helps keep us all up and running, Nat. Obviously, you can't see him because he's the man behind the scenes. After that, we have our Bosonian archer and ranger, Thornicius. We have the dangerous and famous mercenary Queen Xenia. We have the zealous witch hunter Abertah. We have, coming in from off screen momentarily, the the social, charming, charismatic, and enigmatic emissary from far off Kitai, Zhang. He'll be here shortly.
He's just far off right now. It's okay.
Yeah, he's a little too far off right now.
Being enigmatic. And finally, I'll be playing the part of Crom, the god who cares not for your worries. At the end of our last session, well, even not at the end of our last session, we went through a couple of activities, found out some information, and then fell upon the cursed cave. This cave was completely cursed because every time anybody tried to do anything, they rolled complications non-stop. I wasn't even putting any doom on the table, just straight complications non-stop into this cursed cave. And we find ourselves now with half the party having delved into the cave and half the party hanging out upstairs out of the cave. There's a sinkhole to get into the cave, so they fell in and they can't get back out because there's a big sinkhole. And half the party is up there. Their arms are bloody from their own knives. Their tools are breaking, and now they're like, "Screw it! We're just going to chop down a tree and drag a tree trunk and use that as a ladder." Unfortunately for them, there's Zhang, our enigmatic emissary. Unfortunately for those still above ground, they popped their head up over the hill to look around and realized that the scout calvary were nowhere to be found. Surely nothing bad could come of that. And ladies and gentlemen, here is where we begin. So Thornicius, Zinnia, and Zang are above ground. Abertak is below ground with our missing fifth member, unfortunately, who has never existed and doesn't exist. Purple Smoke, maybe they do exist. Whatever's the best for the story. I'll figure it out as I go. I just don't feel like justifying why a player isn't here. It's easier this way if I just pretend it doesn't exist. Let us start out.
Out of reality.
Exactly. Let us start out above ground. Zang, you're sitting there just enjoying an apple, watching Zinnia stab herself in the arm, watching Thornicius trying to cut down a 20-foot tall tree, 30-foot tall tree with a hatchet.
Wondering where your life went wrong. They're all insane. It's this. There must be a patch of insanity. Some Cthulhu-ridden miasma that is not affecting me. It's all hallucination.
Well, actually, with that, go ahead and roll me a discipline check, please.
Oh dear.
Sure, I can do that.
Yeah.
I have the skills. I have the abilities. Let's see. Discipline
We came,
is
we
13.
saw, we kicked its ass.
You got the tools, got the talent.
Okay. I can read.
All right. Yep. 13 and 3.
I have not rolled anything yet.
Right. No, I'm saying those are your numbers.
Yes.
Yep.
Do you want me to roll for you?
Roll 2 die 20. Keep them below those numbers.
Do you want me to roll for you?
Yeah, please roll for me. I got booted out of the website, so.
Roll 20 has been finicky at best the last
Hey,
month.
me
At
too.
worst has been a complete crash. All right,
Two
2
successes.
successes, no complications. But you know what? I'm going to go ahead and spend a point of doom to see if I can give you a complication. Roll 1d20. I guess I don't give you a complication, but that was close. That was a 19. Okay. So, yeah, you're fine. Wondering where your life went wrong. Zinnia, you've got your arm wrapped up now, it's bleeding through. No permanent damage, just, embarrassment mostly. And Thornicius.
Yes.
Just to see, let's have you roll a survival check on chopping down the tree. Just to see,
How many times you've had to reset that last whole wall?
Yes, it's pain to me.
A 10 and a 12. Oh, that's 2 successes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, let's see if I can break that. I broke that. Well,
I remembered it. Just a minute.
I broke one of them at least, so it's only 1 success. It's not 2 successes, unfortunately. So I spent a point of doom to roll against you and try to remove some of those. Because this is a cursed cave and everything's going to go wrong. There's going to be a lot of doom coming at us today.
So
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, our party. Abertak. After you've gone into the cave, you found that there's that first room, that sinkhole room that was really barely even a room, just kind of a chamber where the water went through and had then pulled up and then escaped out. And that's what created the sinkhole. About 20, 25 feet down. You landed hard and then followed the river upstream a little bit, the stream upstream a little bit through a narrow passage to find a larger chamber. In this larger chamber was 9 corpses, 4 of them arranged neatly on that wall, 4 of them arranged neatly on that wall, and the last one over there that had been obviously recently meddled with. Uh, from what you can tell from a quick study, I'm assuming you lit a torch. From what you can tell from a quick study, is they are ancient, and you don't even know how they haven't crumbled to dust. They should have been dust. They are so ancient. And then you found another passage, kind of, not quite a secret passage, but definitely an obfuscated passage, kind of behind them, narrow, very low. You've got to crouch down, or maybe even crawl on your hands and knees part of the way to get through this passage. But as you only made it a few feet into the passage during the last session, and you started to see pictographs on the wall, some sort of writing on the wall. And that was pretty much where we left you.
Well, I think that person I jumped down here to find, Vera, had told me that she had seen some further ahead. It was trying to lead me somewhere, and I think we had decided that it was kind of Asher. Well, the ruins were Asheronian, but the writing, there's something was off about the writing being Asher. It wasn't quite that. Is that right?
That is correct. She said that she didn't understand much, but she did see, like, she recognized a reference from an old children's fairy tale thing that she knew as a kid about Atlantis. That was about the only information that she was really able to pull from it, was Atlantis.
Okay. Well, I will. She was leading me somewhere that she wanted me to see something back there. So I would continue crawling after her. We had, I think, gone out to shout up to them that we were okay, but exploring something.
Yep.
And they don't think that we just completely vanished.
Right.
So I will follow her wherever. I don't remember what it was that she found that she wanted me to see.
It was the pictograph. She never even made it to the other side of the tunnel. She had just been crawling through the tunnel, looking at the pictographs.
So there's no pictographs like through most of the tunnel, and they just start halfway through, or there's just like
no,
one.
They start pretty quick and are drawing on the wall from right to left, actually, along the wall as you go through the tunnel. You're welcome to do a lore check to try to see if you can decipher them. Not only welcome to, I would encourage it even.
Not my strong suit, but I will give it a try. Here.
Yeah, she had a point of fortune as she was looking at them, so that's how she knew it from a fairy tale from a child.
You know what? I'm actually going to go ahead and spend one too, but I think I still have to roll, right?
Yeah, I mean, technically you don't have to. You can just choose to use the 2 successes from that, but if you roll, you could have more successes or complications.
Yeah, I'll give it a try. Oh, all right. So
3 successes all told.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 successes all told. You with your experience of studying and learning about the occult, I mean, a lot of ancient sorcery happened because of Acheron. I mean, they didn't invent magic by any means, but most blood magic, most evil sorcery and magic, which most magic is, has their roots in Acheronian magic. And so you start to study it kind of from that perspective, looking at, well, if this is Acheronian, what would this be saying? And you do find that it is similar to an Acheronian script. It seems to have the same patterns of it. The differences being more like Latin to French sort of thing. So the words aren't quite the same, but they kind of got similar roots is what you're finding. And you start to kind of pull a picture from the story as you go further and further down this cave. There was an evil sorcerer, as every fairy tale, as every great story has. An evil Acheronian sorcerer had been enslaving people. You got that part. These people were escaped slaves. Okay, you got that part. the part that really is starting to get there that you're having a hard time understanding is there's these people were not just enslaved, they were enthralled. This evil sorcerer was controlling them with some sort of power, not just violently enslaving them, but completely controlling their very minds.
I mean, if you're going to be an evil sorcerer, why not?
And there's some sort of, it's a squiggly lined orb, is some sort of thing the sorcerer was using to do it. He had some artifact that was allowing the sorcerer to control whole clans, tribes, villages, families. You're not quite sure what word, but groups of people were being controlled en masse. Somehow these guys got free. They escaped with the artifact, and they fled into these tunnels. Once you get to the end of it, about all you can really tell is, there's pictographs of people, fewer people, one person with a little bit. And kind of at the end, all you can get is, I'm the last one. I can't let them have it.
Does the tunnel end?
A little ways further. So this is a very long tunnel that you're in. Very, very long tunnel they're in. You're crawling for quite some time to get through it as you're looking at all these pictographs and studying them. And it, for the most part, it kind of starts out straight with the water, but then it kind of curves off a little bit, goes down a little bit, goes up a little bit. And eventually ahead, after the pictographs have stopped, you do see what looks like a very small exit or passage into a larger chamber. It's nervous as you get closer, though. Something is making you anxious or nervous as you get closer to that exit.
Oh, I wish I had Verai with me.
Well, the rest of the party will be with you soon, I'm sure.
I doubt it.
That was a hint.
So, actually, on that note, rest of the party, you've spent now about like 20 minutes chopping at this tree. And if you've ever tried to chop down a tree as big as your arms across, it takes a hell of a lot more than 20 minutes to do it with a hatchet. I need an observation check from somebody. Don't really care who.
I'll do it.
He'll do it. He's going to take a break from chopping for a moment, wipe his sweaty brow, look around, and one success. Well, last time you noticed that those scouts weren't there. This time you noticed the scouts are there with friends, all a horseback.
Oh boy. Guys,
I'm jumping.
we got company.
I'm jumping.
Yeah. I suggest we retreat into the hole.
Or lead them away from the hole so they don't bury us in there.
Do they look like they've seen us yet?
Oh, they saw us because now they have friends. They went and got their friends.
They aren't
a party on the mountaintop.
They aren't at the moment moving towards you, but they are spreading around and scouting and have at least an idea that something is somewhere.
Into the hole. Before we go into the hole, would you mind covering up all markings that you made?
The giant pool of blood from where you've been trying to make rope.
The wood chips by the tree.
Yeah, would
I'll
you mind
scoop up
trying
the
to
wood
cover
chips,
that
use
shit
them to soak up the blood, then throw all that in the hole.
up? I will assist you in hiding that shit.
All right. Somebody roll a stealth check, and somebody else can roll a 1d20 in support.
I'll do this.
I'll roll a d20 in support.
All right. So Thornicius is pulling the stealth check. That's probably good because he's got the best stealth in the party.
Close.
Well, that's one success. And then Zhang for the support. Zhang's stealth is a 9 with no focus, but
Did that actually roll? It's not.
no, you
showing
put
there.
the R and the slash backwards.
Ah. Okay, we're going to re-roll one of our 20s.
You have that opportunity to re-roll an observation check.
No, but I can, however, where it's command
Check my character, see if I can reroll.
C.
Where would I check?
Where's that one that
Teamwork rolls.
yes, teamwork rolls. I can't try to find it.
Everyone can re-roll any die on an initial roll that results in a failure during a teamwork test, even if you're not the leader of it. Wise veteran. Huh.
Yep, that one.
I have sharp senses. I can reroll mine too.
Go for it.
Okay. Well, that wise veteran, that is an extraordinarily powerful skill. Okay. Well, we just went from 1 success to 3 successes. Are you going to re-roll 2 there, Mike? Because yours was not a success. It was almost a complication.
I will take the 3 successes as a group and not risk a complication.
All right. Well, 3 successes in attempting to hide your tracks might actually be enough. I'll roll for their scouting shortly. But so basically you're trying to hide your tracks and then put some bushes and stuff over the hole so they can't find it and follow it.
Yeah, take a branch, erase all our footprints, and
And then jumping in. Geronimo.
Geronimo.
Insensitive enemies learn.
I'm going to need either acrobatics or athletics. I'll let you take your pick on which one. But I will need an acrobatics or an athletics check from each of the 3 of you.
Oh, brother.
I have athletics. I mean athletics.
Bill, can you believe it's your 17-month subscribe-anniversary?
Woohoo!
17. That's a year and a half.
I'm an OG, yo.
Holy shit. You got a success. 1 success.
Were you rolling?
I have
Here,
agile.
let me tell you, I've been getting those calls all day too. Here's another one.
Did you see the thing?
Okay, you don't.
All day I've been getting phone calls.
Are you getting all those
I can answer and it just hangs up.
I should
I've had them 4 times now. I let Google screen them because it doesn't matter, but it's so annoying. All right, so that 14 and a 12, who is that?
I'm surprised by that.
That was Billy.
All right.
Yeah. The first one's Billy, the second one's mine.
Okay, the 10 and a 14 is Bill?
Mhm.
Oh my god.
Okay. So Thornicius, what were you rolling? Acrobatics or athletics?
Acrobatics.
You should report
Okay.
that.
So yeah, that's a couple of successes. With great agility and lithe routines as practiced, jumping out of trees and climbing through the Bosonian marches and the Pictish forests, you drop down, tuck and roll, and hop back up, ready to go, barely even muddying up your boots. The second one, the 14 and a 12, that was you, Xenia?
Mhm. Yes.
Neither your acrobatics or athletics, neither of those met. Ow. You see him drop down. Oh, that's not that far. I can do that.
Can I roll to catch her?
You don't take any actual damage. You didn't get a complication or anything. You don't take any actual damage, but you land hard. You are bruised and battered. You get the wind knocked out of you. Just kind of roll with it a little bit. Role play with it a little bit. You are battered a little bit. And Zang, that is one success. Well, it wasn't near as pretty as Thornicius' tuck and roll, but at least you didn't land on your face. You dropped down, you kind of squiggled down and lowered yourself down a little bit, pulled the brush up over and dropped, and you landed. It was farther drop than you expected, but yeah, you're good. So here you guys are. You've now mostly covered up the sunlight that was coming in now. It is a very dim, dark chamber that you're in. 20, 25 feet high, maybe 10 to 15 feet wide, and 40 or 50 feet long, give or take. The shadows are really deep and it's dark in here. There is a little bit of a stream running through it long ways in here. It's muddy. It's a sinkhole. Neither of your friends are to be seen. There is a passage, however, going that way.
Can I look? Can I search around my hand or whatever to see if there's any sconces or torches that could be relit?
You can give me an observation check. Yeah.
You looking for a light switch?
Yeah, I'd love to have a light switch, but I don't think that's gonna work here.
I'll give you guys. You have torches.
A shot in the dark.
So that's no successes on your observation check.
You better hope your eyes adjust real
This
quick.
is a sinkhole. It is a dirt cave 25 feet underground. It's a sinkhole. You feel around and all you feel are roots, rock, mold, maybe a mushroom, something squishy that you hope is a mushroom.
Let's just take that path over there.
Yeah, let's take the path and see what happens.
All right. Do any of you create light of some sort, or are you going to go through this in the dark?
I'm gonna try. I guess I have the survival kit. I can.
Let's wait until after we pass through the. Let's wait until we don't have a hole above us.
Just in case, don't get any smoke going out or anything.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not small enough that you quite have to crawl, but it's definitely tight, single file, and like scrunching down as you're going through here. And you go through a passage. And the passage itself is maybe only 10 or 15 feet long into an actual, another natural chamber. You can tell it opens, it opens up a little bit. So you can tell that you're in a chamber, but it's too dark to see more than, the silhouettes of each other, basically, as in you're in very, very dim light. Who's in the front? Thornicius?
I would suppose I would take the front.
You do see a skeleton.
Oh, interesting.
At least seems like a skeleton. It's very dark, but there's like a foot bone right there.
That
and
guy.
the foot bone's connected to the ankle bone.
An ankle bone connected to a hip bone.
All right, so I guess at this point I'll pull out my tinder and try and get some kind of light in here to inspect things.
All right. You light yourself up a torch, no big deal. And you see that you are in a longer chamber. It's a little bit taller, longer chamber, again with the stream kind of running through it. But in this chamber, there are 9 very, very, very ancient skeletons. 4 of them arranged equidistantly on this wall. 4 of them arranged equidistantly on this wall, and 1 at the other end of the room that's been a little bit knocked over.
Seems
Are
like
they chained to those walls?
Nope.
They
You're
will
like,
be.
like sitting against them, like they were propped against them.
Hmm.
They are wearing very, very ancient gear that you're certain is going to just crumble if you touch most of it.
Any fancy weapons or anything like that?
Motion to Zhang and have him come close. Do you know anything about these markings on their armors? Does it strike a bell with you?
Lore check.
Unlikely. Let's have a look.
An 8 and a 14. What's your lore? Your lore is 9. It's ancient.
Familiar?
You can tell that they are ancient. They're much beyond that. You don't know, but you do know definitively that there is no nation that makes armor like this. It is both older and yet more advanced than anything that you would expect to see.
Interesting.
Fascinating.
Okay, what's fascinating, Zhang? Let me know.
Well, I don't know. This armor doesn't seem realistic for how old it is.
Is this maybe a crypt of some sort? A burial?
I mean, probably. So, who or what, I know not.
One
Okay.
thing to note, neither of your friends are here and there doesn't seem to be anywhere to go.
I'm gonna try and track, see if there's any footprints in the dust or such.
Survival or observation, either or.
Observation. Could you please?
Yep.
Oh no, we lost you to the blur!
It can't figure out which one of us it wants to see.
I'll fix that in a minute. I was trying to turn it up.
Wow, this just went X-rated.
Oh, God.
Actually, the blur would make a terrifying monster.
It kind of would. I might remember that.
Okay.
I think I got one success.
Blur.
A 14. Yeah, I think you have a 14 of observation. You have 14 in observation. One success, plenty. Behind the body at the end, kind of where the stream is coming from, there is another passage, very, very small passage behind the body at the end. It was kind of tucked around a corner, and just the way the shadows were lighting, it looked like that corner was a corner. But then as you got closer, you saw a bit of a passage.
Okay. Hey, I found something over here behind this dead gentleman. There's another passage.
Did you move him out of the way first?
Let's
You're
go.
actually going to have to put your hand on his shoulder to get in.
I got it.
Aberthack, have you just hung out at the end? Are you going into that exit chamber? What are you doing?
Can I get my tracker, please?
I don't hear them behind me, and I don't think I do because it's a long, long tunnel. I'm probably going to go on in because last I heard from them, things are not going well up there, and I'm not really expecting them to all be behind me.
All right. So you kind of crawl in, and as you get to the end of it, you see kind of a kidney-shaped room. As you stick the torch out a little bit, you look around. It's kind of like a kidney-shaped room, and you're looking down into maybe like an 8-foot drop, a 7-foot drop. You're coming from a very tight tunnel, and then a drop into this room. Now, the room itself is, I wouldn't say it's like a grand chamber or anything, but for a cave, it is a larger, looks to be naturally, if maybe a little smoother than you would expect, room. It is, you see at least one passage almost directly across on the other side of the room.
Is it still like natural, or is it like work stone?
It's definitely natural, like cave stone. There's not worked blocks. There's no architecture, but it doesn't. It either the water was very thorough at smoothing everything out here, and clearing out rubble here, or something over time. You would just expect to see a little bit more rubble, a little more unevenness in it if it was purely natural, but there's no signs that any of this has ever been worked.
I will hop on down.
Okay. So the three of you guys that are starting to get into this tunnel, it is very low. It is very tight as you're going through here. There are times where you're crawling, you're like army crawling and on your hands and knees trying to get through. Sometimes you can stand up and crouch a little bit, or maybe sit down and stretch your body a little bit. But this tunnel goes on. And after a very short time, you start seeing pictographs on the wall beside you, like written, drawn pictographs, something telling a story.
Can we figure out what the story says?
That would be a lore check.
Oh, okay.
I can do it for you if you want.
Yes.
Since you are bedogged.
Are you guys going to let him do the lore check? Because his lore is not that great. I don't know what your guys' lore are.
I don't think I
Also, not that great. So maybe he does do it. The only person here that's actually put a point in lore is Zinnia.
I can do it.
But your expertise is lower. You have an 8 and a 1. They both have a 9 and a 0.
Oh.
So I'm getting echo. Who am I echoing from? All right, maybe it went away. So who's rolling for a lore check?
I think Eddie just rolled on my behalf.
No, I would stop because I.
Oh, okay.
Want me to do it?
Go for it.
Zinzang.
Yeah.
Wow. 2 successes.
Nice.
Holy crap.
With 2 successes, you can't read it per se, but you can recognize bits and pieces. Like, that's Acheronian. You may be from Kitai, but you still know what ancient Acheron is. That's Acheronian. Ish. That's Acheronian-ish. You see some sort of evil figure. You see slaves. You see an artifact and slaves. You see a dwindling group of people.
So this is a language, right?
Yes.
It's somewhat between language and pictographs.
It's language-ish.
Reduce the difficulty in deciphering hidden meanings by 1. Is
Oh. A cryptic ear. Reduce difficulty in deciphering hidden meaning by 1. I mean, the point of that is hiding messages, like the old World War II adage, thunder and flash sort of thing.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
that.
can see it not applying.
Yeah, I don't think that would apply. That being said, I forgot that there was an actual linguistics skill. And your linguistic skill, you have 3 points of focus in, which would mean that if we use linguistics instead of lore, that goes from 1 success to 4. Or sorry, that goes from 2 successes to 4 if we use linguistics instead of lore. And I forgot that linguistics existed.
So do we want to do that?
I'll allow it because that one's on me to say that was a linguistics check.
There
instead
are
of a lore check.
things man was not meant to know.
So yeah,
Right.
a lot of what I told Abertech earlier, with a little bit more detail. So what you find is these were Atlanteans ancient Atlanteans, their tribe was enslaved by some ancient sorcerer using some powerful, dangerous artifact. Their town, tribe, town, clan, family, social group, something was not enslaved but enthralled. Somehow they found a way to escape it. Maybe it wore off, or maybe they just had a moment of clarity. Somehow they found a way to escape it. They stole the object under cover of night, or somehow stealthily stole that object and escaped. And they were being chased by this sorcerer and took refuge here in these cave systems. And they found a cave system of actual architecture. They found something that had been built down here before, and thought that they were safe. And then after they thought that they were safe and they were like staying down here, it starts to tell a story of something killing them, a monster or many monsters. It says that
Like
it's
real
Turanian monsters.
Ministers.
And then at the end, I'm the only one left.
I must
I've
tell
got to make certain I have to protect the artifact. I'm the only one left.
So, what new bit of information came out of that as compared to really don't as compared to what you told Andy?
The fact that there are monsters?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That something had killed them, yeah.
Something's Atlantean, shouldn't we know?
Okay.
These people were specifically Atlanteans. That was new information. There a little bit more detail on the artifact and the sorcerer and chasing them.
Okay.
Same general story, more detail.
Thank you.
But the monsters was new.
Okay.
That's not good.
And the end of it is I'm the last one left. I have to protect I have to protect the world from this artifact.
Does it show in any way how he did that?
That's the end of it.
Okay.
The artifact is denoted by kind of a squiggly circle.
Interesting. I will inform the party as to what it all means and then suggest we continue forward.
Okay.
Patience is a virtue. Not in this case.
I'm going to opt for my axe in close quarters because there's no way I'm going to be able to draw a bow in this tiny place.
So, Abertac, you've dropped down into this room. It's short. It's not very tall. So when you kind of drop down, you were kind of at the ceiling almost of this room, dropping down into it.
You said there's another exit?
Yeah, almost directly across the way. So the room it's kind of a weird kidney shape, right? And you're coming in from this side, and there's another tunnel on this side exiting.
If I still don't hear anything behind me, I will pause and listen in both directions, actually. Just
Observation.
yeah, that's not my strong suit.
Observant is not.
Might be one.
9 and 1. So yeah, that's one success. The main thing that you hear is the burble and flow of the stream, maybe the hiss of the water as it's going through passages. That is the pervasive sound in here, is the burble and flow and hiss of the water. the underground stream that made that sinkhole.
And after listening a second, I will silently ask the bright gods to aid me as I try yet again to throw myself into the darkness.
This
And-
time, quite literally.
Yes. And I will continue forward.
Okay. One thing to note: if you're carrying a torch, it's difficult to use a two-handed weapon.
Mhm.
If you use it right, the torch is a two-handed weapon.
just putting that out there for those of the party that use two-handed weapons.
Makes
Uh,
sense.
So you're continuing to that passage beyond.
Again, I wish Vera was here because I would just stop and discuss with Vera what we should do, and then I guess we would probably continue on if we don't have a reason to think they're behind us.
How far are they ahead of us?
20, 30 minutes.
Oh, so not enough
Less.
where if we made a sound or something, they would hear us.
I mean, if you were explicitly trying to make noise to be heard, but that might not be the best idea.
Considering, yeah. Because whatever they can hear, so can the people behind us.
I was thinking of bird noise.
Okay,
Not that loud.
The Asheronian cave loon.
Uh-oh.
uh-oh. Think he's going for a prop.
So, okay. So you cross the passage, or across the chamber. You've dropped down into the chamber. You've listened and sounded around. You didn't really focus too much on the room because it just looks like an empty, relatively natural cave-shaped room. But you did find the passage across the way, and you go forward into that passage. And again, it's smoother and more even than you would expect for a purely natural cave. But there's also no signs of any chisel work or hammer or architecture here. But it's a decent-sized passage. 8 or
Is there
9-ish
water
feet
running?
tall, 5-ish feet wide.
Is there water running on the floor?
Here, no.
So there's no sign of anything that eroded it, but maybe it's just
I mean, the water could have gone
Floating
through at any
anymore.
time. I mean, the water could have gone through at any time in the last, 10 million years. It
Yeah,
just
that's what I
changed.
was thinking.
Yeah. After maybe 100 feet or so, maybe 150 feet, it's hard to tell distances in the dark. You come to a fork in the passage. It does a bit of a Y shape. So there's a soft curve to the left and then a very sharp curve off to the right. Both of them roughly 8 or 9-ish feet tall, 4 or 5-ish feet wide. Not perfectly. I mean, it wiggles around and there's stuff, but
if I come into a fork, then I'm probably not going to go further on my own. Once it's not a straight shot, because there is at least a possibility they're behind me. And once I hit a fork, I would no longer be a straight shot for them.
right. Okay. So you just hang out there, smoke a pipe?
I mean, it's probably more chatting with Verai for a second, and blah, blah, blah. So it's probably like a minute of chatting then, and then probably, after what I assume is a couple minutes of discussion, they would probably turn around and go back, just because we don't want to. This is verging on too far,
All right.
especially with the possibility that they could come behind us and go their own way.
Eventually, as you guys are crawling through the tunnels, Thornicius, you have the torch and you're in front.
Yes, with a hatchet in the other hand.
Okay. Nobody else is carrying light, right?
Don't think so, no.
Zing?
I'm just following the feet.
That is correct.
Okay.
And they're stinky.
Well, in that case, you guys won't notice it, but Veri, the passage you crawled out, you can see a reflection of a hint of flickery light coming through it.
You mean me?
Sorry. Yes. Abratak, after a few more
Okay.
minutes in the darkness, you see a bit of a reflection of light down that passage. Not much. At first, you think it's a trick of your eyes.
The way I came?
Yeah, the passage you came in from,
Okay.
and then dropped down from.
I didn't get any sense about monsters down here, so I was going to call out to them. Like, I really hope that's you guys and you're finally done bleeding yourselves to make rope.
Thornicius, you hear that? All of you hear that.
Okay, sounds
Echoing,
like.
faintly and echoing, but all of you hear that.
And I yelled back down the hall, Abertac?
Yep, we're waiting down here.
All right. So I guess we go through the kidney-shaped room.
All right, you crawl forward, and then you kind of poke your head over, and you find that this particular passage drops down about 8 feet into a room, kind of a kidney-shaped room, and it's kind of in the middle-ish on the south side. Well, it might be south. You don't have any direction anymore at this point, but like there's a passage here on the south side that drops down into the room, and then a relatively large passage straight across.
And there's nothing else in this room. I waved the torch both ways. There's
Nothing that you notice. There's no other exits to it. The water doesn't seem to be flowing through here. It is still damp in here.
and the walls you said are smooth but not chiseled.
Yeah, yeah, and not like perfectly smooth. It's not. It's just smoother than you would expect in a perfectly natural cave.
Mhm.
A limestone cave or something's going to be a little porous.
Okay. Watch ourselves as we move forward. I warn them. And off onto the other side, I guess.
You mean down?
Down and then into the other passage, yes.
Do I gracefully go down this time?
I hope so. I don't think your face could take it twice.
So all four of you drop down into the room, or have dropped down into the room now at this point. Abertac and Thornicius are carrying torches. Excuse me. And as a group, you head down that far passage.
Yes.
Who's in the lead?
And I'm going to assume I'm going to assume that these uneducated cretins were unable to read those pictograms, and I will maybe one of them will mention the monster.
Oh, also Conan and Tiber are with you.
Oh.
I guess I should make that
Oh well,
clear.
then definitely Tiber's going first.
We're our silent partners. Yes.
I forgot about that. Conan and Tiber are with you.
Yes, as you watch the description of the pictographs, I will correct you and inform you about the monsters and the Atlanteans and the like.
Oh, they could have called anything a monster. I mean, they're Asheronians, or what's
Atlanteans.
Yes, they were captured by Asheronians. Something like that. In the language. Anyway, shall we continue then? And maybe somebody who's less directly useful in combat could hold the torch.
Yes, let's hand it to Sniper.
Excellent idea.
Hands the torch to Tiber.
Pass the torch.
So now Thornicius and Tiber are carrying torches. You head down the passage 150 feet or so, and come to a Y intersection, a kind of a soft curve around to the left, and then a very sharp curve to the right.
I vote soft curve first.
You would.
Anybody got a coin? I don't care.
Let's go.
She
All
says
right. You take the passage off to the left around for the soft curve. And within another couple 100 feet, it Y intersections again. Continuing this soft, gentle left curve is straight. So you can go straight for the soft curve that you're on, and that curve continues at roughly the exact same circular degree, roughly speaking. Or there is a sharp right turn, a 90-degree turn to the right that you can take into another passage. And the passages are all roughly 8, 9-ish feet, 4, 5-ish feet wide, roughly
Does anybody
speaking.
have something with them that they can use to mark our?
I was gonna say, why don't we circle back to the original before we get too lost and start marking our path?
I think that's a good idea. I'm glad I thought of it.
Okay. I'm going to call that a
What?
survival check, just difficulty 1 survival check.
Can you roll that?
To
By the way, did you guys see those like 12 skeletons on the way in?
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Well, there were only 6 of them. 5?
9.
9.
4 on either wall, 1 on the end.
Here, wait. There are 3 of them missing? And then Eric laughs like he thinks that's funny.
Corin laughs. Corin laughs with you.
Thanks.
Tiber looks a little spooked. Tiber fell for it. Corin
I will
laughs.
accept titty laughter.
Okay. So
Tiber
I
is-
didn't do too
wait.
well.
Are you really? There
Now,
were
there
12?
wouldn't have been room for that many, although I think there I stole the weapon off of one of them. Which obviously will not turn out well.
So Thrunicius, oh
I got
gosh.
Location. Yeah.
The cursed cave strikes again.
Yeah, 'cause the first roll 20.
Yeah, you don't even have any survival abilities that would let you re-roll anything in survival.
Mm-mm.
Oh, so one
What
success,
ranger are you?
one success, and
Right.
one complication. So yes, you mark. We went this way. You decide to do that by scratching into the rock with one of your weapons. Pick a weapon. Which one would you be doing that with? The axe, the spear, the broadsword? Probably the axe, since that was in your hand.
Yeah, the axe is probably what I would use.
Yeah, so you decided to mark it by scratching into the rock with your axe, doling it up really good, especially after it has been used as a lumber axe against the tree. Your well-weighted throwing axe is now dull.
Gonna have to sharpen that sucker up. Oh well.
And then you return to the party.
Mhm.
And there is straight ahead to the long, slow, gentle curve to the left or the sharp curve to the right.
Whatever you guys would like.
Descending?
What?
Yes, if it's descending or ascending.
Yeah, are we descending or is it fairly level as far as we can tell? Or?
Well, you know that you took a 20 or 25 foot drop into it. You know that it's gone down slightly in that long passage, and you know you've taken another 8-foot drop downwards into here, but maybe this passage in front of you goes up a little. The passage to the right definitely does not go up, though.
All right then. One way is good enough for me. What do you guys think?
I would go with the slow, gentle curve, and always up is a good thing when underground.
Yeah, but we're supposed to stay away from the things.
Well, we're trying to find a way out of here. I don't want to end up like those other skeletons in the beginning.
So you mark your way,
Mm-hmm.
your
Yep.
dull axe on the rock.
Yeah.
For those of you who've done this before, doesn't seem like the smartest idea to use an axe scratching into a rock, but that's how he's marking it. He's the ranger. Makes it
Yeah,
wants to make certain it's
I
permanent,
winced
can't
at
be
the
rubbed
sight.
away.
Yeah.
Can't be rubbed away. And you continue along that gentle leftwardy curve.
Yep.
All right. That curve continues on for a little while longer. And yeah, it actually does seem like it's roughly going up. You know, there's some parts where you step up onto a rock and then maybe down a little bit and then step up onto another rock on the relatively rough hewn floor, not as smooth as the floor before. This is definitely more rough hewn up as you're coming into this. And after another 10 or 15 minutes of scrabbling through this, you come to an intersection, a Y intersection to the left and to the right.
These people really like the letter Y.
We have been taking lefts, so let's continue with the lefts.
Barbarian
Anyway.
logic, always go left.
Yep. And then if for some reason we have to double back, it's always going to be a right.
Yep.
Unless you make enough lefts.
3 lefts put you
Don't
back
confuse
into
us,
place.
okay? That's a roll. Let's roll that confusion.
That's what I
Well,
did.
that also assumes a 100% level field. If we are going at an incline or a decline, then
Even if
So
you're right.
you mark that you're going left here, and then you continue left, scrabbling up.
Yep.
Yes?
Yep.
This passage is actually kind of steeply ascending, a lot more than 30 feet. A lot more than 40 feet you have now gone back up. Somehow you've gone farther underground than you expected. However, after maybe only 10 minutes of scrabbling up and through these rocks, the passage comes to an abrupt end with what appears to be a cave-in.
Appears to be a what?
Cave-in.
Oh, okay.
Told you we should have went right.
Women. A loud clang of a steeled fist off of a hollow helmet is heard in the darkness. Clang!
1 o'clock and all's well.
Cleared my belly and all's well. All right. I guess we got to double back and take another way then.
All right, so you go back down. It's quicker to go down than up in this case. So after a couple of minutes, you make it back to that last Y passage. So you could take a sharp left and continue down the other path that you haven't crossed here, or you could just keep going back around the gentle curve.
So with the arrow that pointed towards the cave-in, as we were going that way, I mark it with an X so that we know that way is a dead end.
Okay.
And then we take the other left, which is now a left because it was a right coming in.
Yep.
All right.
You take that passage. It goes a little bit farther than the other one did, before also ending abruptly in a cave-in.
This is
took that, right?
this is not a good pattern, gentlemen.
I'm
Ladies and gentlemen, this is
sensing
not
a
a good
trend. I'm sensing foreshortened lifespans.
pattern. Yeah, me too.
No, 4 shortened
Oh, no,
life.
not foreshortened lifespans.
There's all the skeletons up there.
Yeah. All right. Mark this one with an X. Head back to the intersection, and I guess we head back down To the next intersection.
You go back down the passage a good 10 or 15 minutes or so around the gentle curve, which is now a gentle right-hand curve for a while, until you get to the intersection you have been at before. You can continue straight to continue that gentle right-hand curve, or you can take a 90-degree left turn.
90-degree left and see what happens.
Okay. You take a 90-degree left turn, and just a little bit farther than your torches can show, maybe just 3 or 4 minutes of travel later, you come to it's an intersection, but this time it's just straight, and the light, your light from your torches says this passage continue going straight, but there is a passage off to the right now as well that you come to. So you can continue to go straight, or you can go right off of this passage in a T intersection.
All right, group.
Right.
You want to go right? All right, the lady wants to go hard right. Does anybody have any reason why not to? No?
Nope.
All right, I mark an arrow hard right.
All right, you mark an arrow. As you move off to the right, the passage goes relatively straight before the left part of the wall starts to spread away, moving farther away from the right side of the wall. The right side of the wall kind of goes mostly straight before it starts curving in, and then the left wall sharply goes left before opening up into a ovular chamber. Like, the left side is kind of a crescent shape. The right side is kind of more of a U shape. So it's
a crescent.
It's like a not quite crescent, but maybe like a pregnant crescent.
Okay. Anything in this opening area?
On the far side of the opening area, near the back wall, there is a passage to the right. And at the end, where those walls would converge into a corner piece, is another passage ahead. The odds of this crescent room being shaped like this naturally, with that right at the end and another one right there. But again, there's no sign of work having been done. But it doesn't feel natural. I need a resistance check, a discipline check from Zeng. Same one that had the discipline check before.
You lack a discipline.
I most certainly do not.
You most certainly do not. 13 and 3. 1 and 9. Yeah, you're good.
3 successes.
Yeah, you're good.
Yup.
You do feel
At this
something
point,
tugging at your mind, though.
I would like to roll another survival check to see if I can find airflow
Disconcerting.
here, pointing us to maybe a possible exit out of this cave system.
And can I discern the direction from which this tugging is?
No, just more like a feeling. It's not really a tug, just more like a feeling, like something is there, or maybe not there. A little unsettling. Not a big deal, though. You've been underground now for a couple hours, and maybe you're just feeling a little claustrophobic, but something unsettling. Probably nothing.
It's probably nothing.
Roll a survival check for me if you are going to do that.
Could you do that for me?
So that's one success, or is that 2 successes? That might be 2 successes. What is your survival? Your survival is 14 and 3, so that's 2 successes. Okay. Yeah, the airflow seems to be pointing you to go forward, not to the right.
All right. So I tell this to the group and I say, okay, it's quite possible that if we go this way, we can find our way out. Do we want to check this offshoot just to see what's down there, or do we want to keep going?
Let's check the option.
We haven't ran into any monsters. I would suggest not running into any monsters.
You have no sense of it.
You're
Did you
right.
say mobsters or monsters?
On stops.
I think we should go check.
Want to play basketball with us?
Hmm.
Okay. Lady Luck says go check it out. The off branch.
So does he. Habitek says it too.
Oh, you agree with her?
Yeah, I say offshoot too.
Okay, we'll try it.
I'd rather rule it out.
Mark a little
All
X
right.
going or arrow ordering that way.
You mark it and you take that right turn, not quite at the end of the room, and begin going through that passage. This passage seems to be mostly going level, and pretty quickly, within just a couple of minutes, it comes to a Y intersection.
Are we still sure we want to go this way?
You can go forward and left or forward and right.
Forward and right.
Forward and right?
Following the lady. Yep.
All right. You follow that passage, and it continues to go around. It winds just a little bit. After a while, it opens up to being maybe 10 or so feet wide. Not really a chamber, but definitely much wider than it has been. And as you get into that, not quite a chamber, you see movement on the ground.
What kind of movement?
A slithering kind of movement.
Mm.
Hmm.
Did y'all see that?
Put away my axe, grab my bow.
How you gonna do a bow?
I'm going to hand you or somebody I throw it to, what's his name?
Timer?
Yeah, Tiber's got 2 torches now.
You can shoot
Our
a snake with
torchbearer.
an arrow.
Tiber, standing in the back of the party with 6 bodies in front of him, is giving the light to everybody now. Okay? In the dim darkness in front of you, you can't make out much.
Pull Tiber forward.
I snatch one of the torches from Tiber and lead towards the front, trying to see where the slithering is coming from.
In this slightly wider portion of this tunnel, you do indeed see some snakes in front of you that have now been startled by the light and have begun to coil up and to go up kind of like a cobra, facing at you. You hear a rattling sound.
But that means there must be fairly close to the surface, right? If there's snakes here. That's good. Right?
Well, I don't know, but we got snakes to deal with.
I hold the torch in front of me, lower to the ground, to attempt to frighten off any nearby snakes.
I switch from bow to spear.
They do seem to shy away from the torch. They are still definitely threatening, but they do seem to shy away from the torch. They're angry, but they are not wanting to get by that torch.
Is there another exit from here? Or?
Yeah, the tunnel keeps going forward. It's just
Oh,
in this wider part of the tunnel, there were some snakes sleeping.
I mean, I'll look at our closest thing we have to a ranger. Be like, am I right in thinking we must be close to the surface if there's snakes
Well,
here?
We could be close to the surface, or we're just close to a nest.
Wouldn't the nest be close to the surface, I hope?
Well, we hope.
Okay.
Depends on their food source. If they're eating the rodents that are in these tunnels, they have no reason to go to the surface.
I mean, the rodents would have a need to go near the surface.
Possibly, yeah. But we got to get rid of these snakes first. So what are we going to do? We got 2 torches, which they seem to shy away from. Do we want to make a path between them, push them over to one side and try and get around the other way? or do we want to actually like confront these things and try and kill them all?
I just
Afraid of
don't know.
light. Can't you stun him by your clap of light or globe of light or whatever it was?
I don't think he has a glow of light.
I thought.
He has flash bombs, I think.
Oh.
I just find it difficult to think that we're going to manage to like play Snake Exterminator in here and smash all of them.
Well, I have a spear, so I can keep them out of their striking range, and still strike at them. But I only one person with a spear, you know.
I'm a shock.
Yeah. How many snakes we talking about, Crom?
I don't know. Let's find out.
Aliens.
Apparently, the dice say just one snake.
Oh, my bad.
One really long. snake.
It actually is a rather large snake, bigger than any you've seen in the woods.
Big snake. All right, let's. That big snake makes a big.
Damn
target.
it, dice! You're supposed to make this epic. Working against me.
I'll let him spear the snake.
See, I'm gonna spear the snake.
Roll me an attack roll.
Don't mess this up for me.
Don't put a pressure on me.
Your melee is a 14 and a 2, so that would indeed be 2 successes. Roll me damage with your boar hunting spear, which I believe is 4 damage dice. So 4d6.
4d6.
You're not exactly a melee character.
Ooh, no.
But with piercing 1, that is 3 piercing effects and 5 points of damage you just dealt with your spear. So you're not exactly a melee character, but you know how to poke a hole in a snake. Speared. Hey, anybody hungry? Oh, Tiber. Oh. Not as scared of snakes, are you? Oh. Asshole. And then you toss the snake to the side of the room, I'm assuming. You're not like going to take it with you so you can skin it and eat it or anything.
Well, I mean,
No.
we might need
Drain venom from it.
Yes,
So what?
venom.
Oh.
But I'm gonna let Zhang
Doing something like that isn't something that you do in a couple of seconds with your bare hands.
No.
I mean,
put that in
You're
put that in
mad.
a sack and hand it over to Zhang to work on because he's the
Ornithius
outsider.
pulls this giant snake off of his spear and waves it around in your face. Here, you want this?
Maybe you could make use of the venom. I say.
He gives you the stare. He just stares
No?
blankly at you and your barbarous ways.
And yet I'll snatch the snake anyway.
And he
You
takes
can't.
the snake
You
eventually.
done snatchified that snake.
Are you doing anything with the snake or just holding on to it?
I was gonna put it in a sack and like hand it to
I very well might get. Well, I'll separate its head from the rest of the body.
there you go.
Okay.
To like date night.
So you're tossing the body and keeping the head?
For use to use the gland and the poison
Okay.
gland.
I'll allow it. Toss the body, keep the head.
I like how we're all assuming it's poisonous.
I mean,
It did rattle.
it's a rattler snake.
Rattlers also aren't the size of pythons. So.
This is the age of undreamed of.
It might be a poison and a constrictor. You don't know.
Have you ever seen a Texas rattlesnake? Them suckers can get huge.
And then you continue forward.
Yeah.
It doesn't take very long moving forward. Just a couple of minutes before you run into a T intersection going left and right with a line scratched into it pointing to the right.
Someone's been here.
Someone's been here. Yeah, we've been here.
There seems to be a gentle left-hand curve as you go to the right, or you can go to the left and it's relatively straightish. Your arrow points to the right.
All right, guys, I think we need to follow our original plan until we find the next, and then we'll realize that that's the way where all the tunnels broke down, and we can go then right again.
So, are you going left or right?
We'll follow his directions at this point.
Go left.
If you go right, you go around that gentle left-hand curve.
Oh, so that's toward all the rock falls then, probably.
There were other passages there that you sure as shit didn't take, though.
Yeah, that's true. But
Or you could do a one.
yeah, let's go the other way because I think that's the way towards our exit, where I got the draft going out.
It is the opposite way.
That's the opposite way.
Yeah,
Okay, that way then.
that would be behind you. You chose not to go that direction.
That's right. So let's go back then. Either
So
way,
you're going. So you're just pulling a 180 when you realize you've been here before.
Yep, pulling a 180, go back the other way, follow the draft, and take the other route.
All right. After a couple of minutes, you see the passage kind of widen out and a big dead headless snake. And then the passage kind of narrows back in again, and you go on for another several minutes, and it kind of loops around a little bit until you get to a Y intersection. You can make a very, very sharp turn to your right, a little turn to the left. Your arrows say you came from the left and you have not been to the right.
Go right. Yes, I like right tonight. Okay.
I know, but you're taking us further away from where I think we can get out. All right, we're adventurers, right? Sure, let's take a right.
Taking the sharp turn to the right?
Yeah, we'll try that too.
All right. You pull a 160 and go down this sharp turn to the right. Pretty quickly, this passage actually almost does a U-turn to the left and starts wrapping back around in this direction. And after a couple of more minutes, kind of starts looping around to the right. And as you're going forward, you see a darker than dark patch ahead of you that probably means some sort of opening, but it's not a tunnel entrance. It's more like as you get closer, it's like a gallery or a ledge over a room that your torch doesn't even come close to lighting it. Maybe 15 or so feet down, you see, so there's a ledge here, and it's maybe like 15 feet long, opening into this room in the tunnel that you're on.
Right.
I'm going to call this a cavern. Into this cavern, in this passage that you're on, there's maybe a 15-foot wide opening into this cavern. It's a 15-foot drop into the opening, and the cavern itself is so large you can't see any other ending in any direction, up
Is there
or
a
side
rock
to
around?
side. But the
There's
passage
rock-
that you're on does continue. It doesn't end here. It does keep continuing around.
Zinya's asking, is there a rock or a piece of rock or something she can pick up and chuck and see if she can find out how deep?
Yeah, I'll allow it. I mean, it's 15 feet down, but if you're like trying to figure out how far across,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll allow it. Roll a ranged attack roll, which would be, let's see, your ranged is a 10. I thought we upped your range. I swear we upped your range. I guess not. So it's 2 die 10. Your number is a 10.
2d20.
Or sorry, 2 die 20. Your number is a 10. One success. You find a rock. It's a pretty good rock. It's kind of like a skipping rock sort of thing. It's kind of smooth, and you get back and you just chuck it as hard as you can. It very quickly goes into the darkness, and you hear clattering ahead of you that is getting mildly quieter.
Okay, pretty big. I don't think we want to take this on. We don't have rope. We're not if we get in here, we're not getting back out this way. How about we just keep on going up?
Keep on going on down that passage.
Yeah, I think we're just going to mark an arrow on the wall and keep going up.
All right. You continue on down that passage a little while longer. It keeps going down a ways, kind of wraps around a little bit until eventually you give me an observation check. All right. Eventually, you hear a little bit of the burbling and effervescent hissing sound of the stream that never quite leaves these tunnels. The hiss becomes a little more pronounced from ahead of you as the passage starts to widen a little bit.
Oh, here we go again. Let's hold up the torch and move cautiously forward.
Ha ha! The passage widens once more, and you wake up a small nest of sleeping serpents, of large sleeping serpents, of 6 large sleeping serpents.
Okay, Zhang, you've got crowd control.
Mrs. Andrews should think about serpents.
Handy dandy fire bombs with you or anything like that?
Snake oil.
He's got snake oil. Anybody?
That's snake oil.
They are awake, aware, and hissing at you once more, just shying away from the torches that Zhang is holding in front of him.
Take out one of my flaming arrows.
You have a flaming arrow?
Yes,
something about
I bought them.
Oh, an arrow that you can light a flame?
Yes.
Aha.
Yes.
What else is a flaming arrow?
An arrow that's already a flame? I don't know.
So it's got pitch on it that will catch flame and then will then stay aflame as I'm shooting it. But I'm not shooting this one. What I'm doing is I'm going to use it kind of like
As a torch?
well,
Do me a
kind of as
favor.
torch on top of like a weapon.
Okay, but do me a favor.
Yeah.
In the future, when you get items and gear, write it down on your character sheet. Otherwise, you forgot it.
Ah,
Because there are no flaming arrows listed on your character sheet.
how did I miss that? Okay. My bad. I know I bought them.
I sort of remember you buying something like that. But in the future, you accidentally left them behind at the tavern.
Dope.
It's not on your sheet. It don't exist.
Okay.
Look at the next page.
Anywho, let's just move on with it for the sake of the game. So I'm going to take this arrow. It's probably about a 2.5, 3 foot long arrow with
Yep.
a tip on it. And where's the closest one? Is there one close enough that I could strike it with that?
They're all at close range. I mean, your torchlight doesn't go out that far. So they're all at not melee range, but I mean 10 to 15 feet, relatively speaking.
It'd be an easy shot with a bow then. I'll just take the bow and I'll shoot a flaming arrow into one of them.
Okay. Roll an attack roll.
What's that?
And add 2d6 for fire.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
All right. So party gets a little bit of momentum here. So that's 4 successes. Party gets 3 points of momentum.
Oh no, mine does much more than that.
Your bow does 7 dice 6 worth of damage.
Oh, sorry.
No, just change that to 7. Yeah, change that to 7. No, we don't want to take that.
Roll 7 dice 6.
There we go.
Let's see. Piercing, piercing, piercing 1, piercing, piercing 2. Damn. I mean, I don't want to count that up.
Armor will not help him.
Your arrow goes through the snake, leaving the flaming portion behind. Goes through the snake. Like it opened its mouth to hiss at you. It's like, I'm gonna get you. Ah! And your arrow goes there. Zoop, zoop, zoop.
All right.
You-
And
Your arrow goes down its throat and out the back.
okay.
Giggity.
That's one down.
So we are now in a turn of combat. Is anyone else in the party doing anything during this turn of combat?
I really, really hate to just smash into the cave, kill snakes, but if that's what we're doing, that's what we're doing.
I'm perfectly fine just holding them at bay with a torch.
I will swing a hammer at one of them.
Swing away, my friend. Roll me a melee attack roll. A 6 and a 13. Is that one success? Ooh, 2 successes. You generate 1 point of momentum for the party. Oh, let me double check to see if they have special abilities. Okay, they don't. Or not special abilities that would apply specifically here, but okay.
All right.
What is your damage?
Do I need to roll damage against the snake?
Yes.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points of damage. They don't have any soak. So yeah, that's enough to field a full wound. You smash the head in of one of these 6, now 5 snakes. Now 4 snakes are left.
I'll do my 2 swords.
You pull out your sword.
Juicy.
Are you gonna go Ginsu on the snakes?
Yes.
Gonna go some salad chopper?
Yes.
Some slap chop?
Heck yeah.
Slap chop.
Roll me a melee roll, please. 2 die 20. Your melee is a 12 and a 2. So that's one success, which is enough. Roll me an attack roll, please. Oops.
5.
5d6.
Xenia, gear, fancy roll. Yep, 5 die 6. 1, 2, 3, 4 points of damage, parrying, piercing, and paired. Oh, what was paired? Oh yeah, that's right. It takes less momentum. So you don't have a bonus damage, but for 1 point of momentum, you can get a second attack on it. You give a solid slice into it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 point of momentum kills it.
Yes.
1 point of momentum.
I get 1 point of momentum.
Roll it.
But we didn't declare it beforehand.
Oh.
So 1 point of momentum does give you a second attack, though.
Okay, I'll take it.
All right. 1 point of momentum. Roll 2 die 20 for your attack roll. That is one success. That is all you need. Roll damage again. So 5 die 6. 1, 2, 3, 4 more points of damage. This blade goes in this way. This blade goes in this way. And you use them to make chopsticks. Snake.
Anybody want some snake salad?
Snake salad.
For 1 more point of momentum, you can have a third attack.
I do it. You mind?
I don't mind.
You mind?
I'll do it.
You're doing great.
She has multiple paired weapon abilities to make it cheaper to do that. That is one success. Roll damage, 5 die 6 on snake number 3. 1, 2, 3, 4 more points of damage on snake number 3. So you Ginsu one, and then you wiggle it around and throw it, and stab into another, which is now bleeding and hissing and poisoning all over the place.
Poisoning all over the place.
Huh.
Zhang, you're holding a torch, keeping them at bay.
Yep.
Okay,
Keeping
roll
them
me an
for the
attack
rest
roll.
of the. Huh?
Roll an attack roll, please.
I'm not actually attacked though.
I know.
You sure?
I know.
Okay.
Okay, so is that one success? Or I guess this would be a mental attack.
What? I
You're
mean,
intimidating.
Yeah, it's like an intimidate attack.
okay, then I'm severely intimidating them.
Yep.
Oh.
Okay. Roll 4d6, please. And we need at least one effect in order to intimidate.
What are you using?
Would it only be 4d6 if this is an intimidation roll?
I guess you do get a bunch of extra to intimidate shit, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, you do.
He's calling the snakes bunches of names.
Damage on mental attacks increased by 1. So that would be 5. That 4d6 plus 1. Command check, reroll a die, 1 additional language.
My bonus presence damage is 3d6. Or 3d.
Oh, so
dice.
roll for 7d6 then.
Let's see.
Wow. 3 with 2 effects. But the effects is what we were looking for here.
Yeah.
Effects is what we were looking for here. 2 of the 3 snakes are intimidated and still scared of the fire. The third snake, the one that Xenia only partially Gensu'd, however, is enraged and attempting a bite attack on the torchbearer. Attempting a bite attack on the torchbearer. With a 14 and a 13, which is not near enough for them to hit. It
Okay.
lunges at you, and you're able to swat it away with the torch.
I'm the torchbearer.
That brings it back around to your guys' turn. There are 2.5 snakes left.
Take another shot with my bow.
Okay. 2d20.
Shoot that snake.
Shoot it real good.
Yes. I shots it real good.
What is that? 2 points of momentum generated for the party. Roll for damage. 1, 2, 3, 4 points of damage. Which
I can
snake were
roll
you
it.
hitting at?
I can re-roll those 3s too.
You might want to do that. Which snake are you shooting?
The ugly
The
one.
one that attacked Zhang, I guess.
The injured one? Okay.
Yep, there we go.
That is enough to put a hole in the snake. As a second arrow comes flying through, stabbing it. This one doesn't actually like pierce all the way through down its gullet, but definitely there is now an arrow right in the snake and it falls dead. There are 2 snakes remaining.
Kingsu again.
All right, roll the attack roll.
And this time do a double attack.
We're gonna
Can I do momentum?
off at like one of those hibachi places.
He's going to spend a momentum to do a double attack.
Yeah, well, she can declare that after. That extra momentum was on the damage roll, just to spend a point of momentum on damage to get 1 free point of damage.
Oh, an extra attack though.
Yeah, she does that too, but she doesn't have to declare that beforehand.
Ah.
Okay, so that is 3 successes, generating the party a point, 2 points of momentum. Party can only have 1 point of momentum, so you've got to spend 1 point of momentum on damage anyways.
So spend it.
Yep.
Go ahead.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With that extra 1 point of momentum, that is 6, which is enough to Gensu slice and dice snake number 5, as she just, it's veering away from the torch. It starts to get brave, and it comes in, and she goes, "Oh yeah, snatch, raise, knife, zik."
I need a necklace.
Headband.
She's got a new pair of boots. But for 1 point of momentum, you can have another attack on the final snake.
Yep. 1 point of
End
momentum.
it.
Just 1d6?
No.
Oh.
Two die 20. It's an attack roll. 2 die 20.
Oh.
That is enough successes. So roll for damage. And do you want to spend any bonus momentum for bonus damage?
Yes.
We have 4 points of momentum. How much would you like to spend?
2.
All right, you have 2 free points of damage. Roll your damage roll. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 points of damage. If you thought she sliced the first one up entirely, this one she turned into a bologna sandwich. Hey, how do you like your snake? Big pieces are small. Here you go. Hey, this one had a mouse in it.
Extra protein.
And that is all of the snakes.
What y'all been doing?
What you mean, what y'all been doing?
She did kill half of them herself.
Well, that's true.
So do you now continue on down the passage past where they were?
Yeah, sure.
Very quickly, within just a couple minutes of walking, you come to a T intersection. You can go left or right. There are no marks.
Wait.
Right?
Right.
Again?
To the right.
Yeah.
Right, she says.
All right. You move to the right. Within mere minutes, the passage starts to widen out a little bit. And you find six more serpents in the wider room ahead of you.
You guys take me to the nicest places.
I know, right? I'm about done with these mother effing snakes on this mother effing cave. Say hiss one more mother effing time. Let's go back. I just don't feel like fighting these things all day long. We're just wasting energy and time.
But isn't this taking us upwards? Like, this is the
it?
path. Well, I mean, the snakes are here for a reason. I mean, they gotta have prey. I'll go either way, but I suspect we'll have to go through here one way or the other.
Yeah, you will.
All right. Fine.
Or we could feed Verai to them.
We need somebody with a ranged, like a crowd attack.
A
bow?
flamethrower?
Perfectly. Yeah. Perfect example. Somebody with a flamethrower.
Michael, you're in charge of inventing the flamethrower.
Hey, Greek fire is a thing.
Although nobody can figure out how it works.
Grease isn't a big.
All right. What do you guys say? We gonna battle? Let's battle.
Is there room to avoid them?
No.
It widens out, but it doesn't widen out in a full-on chamber that you could try to go around all 6 of them. You're certain at this point that it cannot be a coincidence that these hallways widen out like this. So close to so many of these intersections.
Neat.
But what would they have done though? Like, ask the snakes nicely to nest exactly in the right spots?
I need a discipline check from Abertac.
Uh-huh.
Who has a discipline of 13 and 2, so he's not like he's gonna fail this discipline check.
I could. Never jinx me.
Don't jinx it like that, boss.
A 13 and a 5, so 2 successes. You feel a little bit of anxiety, like things aren't adding up. Something's not right. And there's a little there's just a feeling in the back of your head.
To be fair, it does take a lot of discipline to hunt witches. So
First push Tyler in.
Just a feeling in the back of your head. Something's not totally natural.
I established that long. Look, at least they're not snake skeletons or something. Yet.
Shush. Look. I told you about giving him ideas.
Oh, just wait. So, smash the serpents.
Yep, attack. Roll me a 2d20.
I'll let our hibachi chef go first.
You mean moi?
Well, I'm just going to keep the momentum from the last fight still because it's been such a short amount of time. You guys haven't exactly like rested or anything. Still the same team. That is 2 successes, generating 1 point of momentum.
I
Roll
used it.
5 dice 6 damage. If you want to use any of those momentum points for extra damage, let me know.
I did. I said I'd use them.
Okay, just 1 point?
2.
2. All right. 1, 2, 3. Actually, it's good that you use those 2 points. With your first slice,
And dice.
same snake killing knife that you used before, finely honed, perfectly balanced, upward strike straight through its face. It is now a forked tongue and head.
I just want to give him a piercing, that's all.
And for your second attack, in which case 1 point of momentum, party still has 1 point of momentum you can spend and get another attack.
I will take it.
Use it. Roll your attack roll, please. 2 die 20. That is 2 successes. Melee. 2 successes. Once more, generating a point of momentum for the party.
And I use it.
All right, 1 point of momentum towards damage. Roll your damage roll. 5 die 6.
Mm-hmm. It did.
Oh, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4 points of damage total. Not quite killing the final snake, but definitely really pissing it off. It is not happy. Rest of the party. There are now 4.5 sneaks.
4.5 snakes.
Don't I have reroll?
I don't know if you do.
Well, let's find out. Let's look at your abilities. Melee, when making, may reroll number of damage dice equal to the total number of melee talents. So yeah, you can reroll all 3 of those 3s.
So go ahead. 3d6.
That brings you up to 5, which is enough to fully finish off the fiendish foe. As Zinya's like, I got this. 1 snake, 2 snake, green snake, blue snake.
You should do commercials for Ginsu.
When we get out of the cave, I'll think about it.
Party. There's still 4 snakes though.
Then I will make the next attack. And get 1 success.
1 success is all you need. Three
And what
points of Wait, no, one of them's you've got vicious. Is it vicious 2? It was vicious 2, right?
Yep. And then I can reroll a bunch if I need to.
That's 5 points. With the vicious 2, that's 5.
Okay.
As he plays baseball with a snake, it decides to jump at him, and he goes, "Dong!"
Not quite. Like Zinnia's impressive now. I not, you know.
Happy Gilmore, that sucker. There are now 3 snakes remaining.
All right, I guess I already did my. Did I already?
You
do
have
my-
not done your turn. Zinnia went first. She just waded straight in.
Okay, well, roll me an attack roll, 2d20.
You're shooting your bow?
Do we have any, hold on, do we have any, yeah,
Fortune?
no, not fortune.
There's no momentum at this time.
None?
No
Okay.
Yeah, I only got 1 success to hit it.
Well, there's
However, you just generated 2 points of momentum.
one. Roll me 7d6.
Using momentum?
No, I'm gonna give them to the party.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 points of damage. Yeah, it did.
It did.
Yeah, it did. Just flat.
Are you putting him as a wall ornament?
It's not pretty, but it's effective.
Well, yeah, I mean, the arrow took the snake, flew the snake back, and now the snake is hanging from the arrow on the wall, just doing some death twitches.
Now we know which way to go.
We've
That's your new
definitely been
marker,
here.
There are 2 snakes remaining. Zhang, are you waving the torch at the last 2 or just saying F it?
No, I'm still waving the torch at the last 2. Not gonna risk it.
All righty. Roll a mental attack roll. Okay, you generate a point of momentum for the party. And then roll your 7d6 worth of mental attack stuff because you're ridiculous. Yeah, that is 2 effects, which is enough for the 2 snakes that are remaining to intimidate them and prevent them from attacking.
Cool.
Guess what? It's the top of the party's turn again. You guys get to go again.
Yay!
All right, Zinnia.
It's Ginsu time.
Whoop, whoop.
The mercenary queen.
Roll your attack roll. 1 success. That's all you need. Roll your damage. 5d6. The party has 3 momentum. Would you like to spend any?
Yes, I'll spend 2.
Let's just. I say just go with
Get your
1.
third attack.
But if you want to spend 2, we can.
Reroll that 3.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You don't need to re-roll the 3. It dead already.
Okay.
Yeah, it dead already.
Yeah.
And then you spend the 1 point of momentum for your second attack.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Roll me the 2d20 attack roll. That 1 success is enough. Roll damage once more. Why don't you go ahead and re-roll those 3 3s and 4s?
3, so 3d6. Woohoo!
As Zinnia once again goes, look, 1 snake, 2 snake, red snake, blue snake, and has 4 halves of snakes still falling and not even hit the ground yet. And you were saying you wanted to run from the snakes?
I just didn't feel like
Cornishes?
them.
I don't see what the big deal was. Slice, slice, no more snake.
I
As Zinnia
know.
has now killed 7 of the 13, 8 of the 13 snakes herself, something like that.
Mm.
More than half.
Mm.
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 Well, we're glad you had you're alone.
Boing!
Clang! What was that for?
And then you proceed down the passage in front of you, I'm assuming.
Sure. Let's see what's beyond this.
I bet it hisses.
I bet it does too. The passage continues on forward for several minutes at this point, before it begins to widen out in front of you. This time, as you're looking through with your torch, it's different. This time it widens out. The wider area is kind of triangular shaped, very, very rough triangular shaped. There is a passage to continue straight ahead. There is a passage to continue to the left. And there are several snakes, of which you have seen before. And there are also a pair of mutated, monstrous snake with multi-head snake arm mass things. A terrifying otherworldly creation that shouldn't exist among the pile of snakes that are there sitting at this intersection, sleeping at this intersection. The smaller snakes seem to be surrounding the two larger mutant mass of snakes.
Well,
This
those
seems
need-
like a problem for next week.
And with that cliffhanger, ladies and gentlemen, we love having you around. Thank you for joining us here on the Architects of Fate. We're going to get a raid spooled up here. So as you get to the new channels, don't forget to be awesome, represent the Architects of Fate, be cool, be awesome. We love ya. Oh, wait. Not yet. Oh, we have announcements. I'm good at this. I know what I'm doing. All right. So Wednesday, tomorrow, 10:25, 8 p.m., Call of the Netherdeep. Bandits in Bazzoxan. I don't know. The banditos finally arrive at their next destination. What kind of mischief will they cause in this new city? Only one can imagine. Find out, because I'm a party in that, and I love causing mischief, mayhem, and havoc. Thursday, 10/26 at 8:30 p.m., Rift's Seawolves. In a special Halloween episode, Squad 51 faces off against the supernatural horrors spawned from a rift that are terrorizing Tritonia. Friday, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to have Cookie Trek this week. Sunday, though, the 29th at 9 p.m. Eastern, Tomb of Annihilation. After making a new friend, defeating a hungry plant, and dropping some magic fog on some frogmen, the party continues their march through Omu, with 2 puzzle cubes left until they can unlock the Tomb of the 9 Gods. How many times can this party split up? Next Monday at 8:30 p.m., Star Trek Bajor Rising, Ghost of Bajor. The team begins settling into their new assignment about the USS Odyssey. While their future lies before them, their past may not be fully behind them. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we love you. We'll see you next time.